go to Yatera, compadre. Yatera means my ancestor, my history. A very beautiful story that until today has not been well told. Born among the mountains of the eastern Ario, the Changui as such has had many people who have done a lot of research on the Changui, who have written, writers who have written about the Changui, but the roots of Changui have never been deepened. In my book, I try to go deeper, to go to the roots, to the origins of the Changui, where the hummingbird sings. It is called Changui rhythm. And it comes from Yatera, land of the countryside. The book is named after it. There is a Changui in Yatera. The book is in the process of being edited. It is already in the publishing house, El Mar y la Montaña. We have been working on it for several years, and the book is in the editing process. I believe that it is going to be a book that before being sold, it will already have to be thinking about its re-edition. Why? Because already today, we have institutions that want to buy the book, 100, 200 copies of the book. And there are 5,000 copies to be printed, and already today the institutions and people are sold out. Institutions and people are already sold out. There are already more than 5,000 people who want the books. That is to say that a reprint will be necessary before the book comes out. I am currently involved in several projects. Processes that take part of my work, I dedicate them to those projects. There are two international projects. The Kubasi project and the project of the great Taino family of Cuba. They are two projects that I am carrying out at the same time. One, culturally, that contributes to our territory, and from which came the idea of making the book about the roots of the Changui in Yatera. The other project is a project that has been one of my dreams, that the history of our ancestors and our history is reflected today in the history of our ancestors and our history is reflected today that we exist, that the descendants of the Indians, did not disappear, as history has given it, as disappeared. Great strategists and intellectuals in another time said, and the Spaniards did not extinguish. They did not extinguish from the books, they did not extinguish from the records, and they did not extinguish from everywhere. But here we are, the descendants of Aborigines are here, the descendants of Kwama, of Atue, we are here in this land. They wanted to extinguish even our history, even the name of our country. They gave it Fernandina, they gave it 20 names, but nevertheless Cuba is still Cuba, which means well-sown land. Through the roads of life I go crossing. That is our history. That is one of the stories that we, through our project, want to tell in the school. To be given in the school, that there should be a school called C.O.N.C.H Atway, that there should be a school called C.O.N.C.H Guama, and not have to export names in the history of other people, that today we go to any school and it has the name of any of those people, and have the name of any of those, but in your school gallery there is nothing about our rich history, our local history, what our first inhabitants did in this land. Inhabitants did on this land. They said, because we've been told, and Columbus said it, that he had discovered America, that he had discovered America. He had discovered America, that he had discovered Cuba. Columbus was one of the first people who came with the cross and with the sword. He came to subdue a culture. There was no encounter between two cultures. They came to subdue our culture. That is one of the parts of the project that we want to move forward.